New tonight, a Lady Vol and Tennessee legend is being honored. Former women's basketball coach and women's athletics director Joan Cronan is part of the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2019. Cronan served as women's athletics director at Tennessee for 29 years until 2012. The Lady Vol spent much of her tenure seeing great success, especially with her good friend Pat Summitt at the helm. Back in 2017, I sat down with Joan Cronan just before she received the first ever NCAA President's Pat Summitt Award. What she told me then is just an example of why she's being honored now.
It's not about championships, it's about relationships, and that was what Pat was always about. How can we make these young ladies be the best that they can be in life and in tennis? It is better to serve than receive.
The induction ceremony will be on June 8th at the Hall of Fame right here in Knoxville.